to be with yet another interesting guest, in person of Mr. Charles Ayemere Molame. And Daddy, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Okay, Daddy, for those that do not know you, can you give us a brief summary about what you do?
Well, simply, my name is Charles Imoluame, but I'm popularly known as Chalimo. I am a musician, I am a businessman, and I'm a graphic designer, musician too. So that is all the caps I have. I was a former director in the Copyright Society of Nigeria, which is COSON. I moved from the PMRS, which is Performing and Mechanical Rights Society of Nigeria, to COSON. And I retired from COSON as a director in 2012. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, I remember.
Alright. So, Daddy, thank you for joining us on the podcast today. So, Daddy, we're looking at copyright, the brief history about copyright. So, for those persons that do not know, a lot of people have heard about copyright, but they do not really understand what copyright is about. So, can you give us what an overview of what copyright is, so that those that do not understand about copyright can get to have an understanding about it?
Well, the history of copyright comes a long way from, I think, about the 18th century or thereabout, where it really started from Europe, particularly the UK, where it was developed. It was discovered that those who have artistry, those who write books, those who sing, those who make films and co, needed to get something for the use of their works. Everybody enjoys what they do, but most of them were living poor at the time. So it became necessary that you know that governments began to look at how those people can benefit from the works that they do. Even in television stations, you have programs and co that are copyrighted so that they can earn money for the use of those programs. So copyright simply means copy well, copyright. Exactly what it says is what it means, which is that if you want to even copy the works of anybody who has originally written a job, you take permission rightly from the person or have a negotiation that amounts to whether you pay for the use of such works. And he has become so organized today that there is a world intellectual property organization, which is WIPO, which is like it's like it's like WHO of the health industry,
Okay.
where WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, is superintends over all the copyright issues of uh, of all the areas of copyright in the world. Then we also have the African chapter that also superintends over Africa.
Okay.
Then we also have those who take care of every country,
Okay.
and so it goes in that strata. So copyright is just simply making sure that works that you do are registered and protected. It gives protection.
So, Daddy, let's say for instance now someone just starts his own work now, doesn't have an idea of copyright, but has started is in the creative space now, and is looking for how to maybe have copyrights for their work. How do they go about it now?
Yes, very nice, simple. From the way you hum your songs from bedrooms and co, you hum the song, you come, some you write them, and if you can put them in any format, even if it is a cassette, if it is a CD, or even a flash that you put it, you begin to look at how you can protect those works. And how you do that simply is to go to um, societies that handle copyright. We have what we call the CMOs, the collective management organizations, who, when you go to them, you say, okay, I want to protect my work. And that work that you have done that you have put in a safe material will be given to them, and you give them the titles, and they get you the information. In that way, you let them control you submit your works so that they can help you either keep the job safe, that keep the material safe if it's not quite completed, or they help you collect monies on it if it has been released.
Okay.
So that is the two advantages of giving your jobs to a CMO to keep for you. So if you record a job, or if you have created something that you think it is what people will want to relate with, it is better for you to protect it with a copyright society.
Okay. So that they have a question to ask. Now, let's say, for instance, all those people that have recording labels now, like how do you, so if you have a record label that is, do they act as a form of copyright, or you have to secure your work outside a record label? Like, how was the process? If you have a record label, do they secure your copyright for you, or you need to have your copyright before you go to your record label to sign on that? Like, how does that work?
Well, you are not talking precisely about the music industry. The record labels are labels that will call an artist to come and to come and um, uh, to come and work on their platforms, release their works on their platforms. So when they come, they don't necessarily own the copyright,
Okay.
but sometimes they have they jointly own the copyrights, because there are two types of rights. There are what you call the performing rights, which exclusively belongs to the man who performs it and all of that. Then there is what you call the mechanical rights, which the label owners own.
Okay.
The label owners, they co-own that with you, because they produce the record, they produce the material, the vinyl, the materials that they sell in the market,
Okay.
that people buy. So in that way, they agree with the artist on what they call the royalty basis. So if they sell these works, for every song, for every material they sell, they agree that they give you X amount of money, and they tell you when to be collecting it periodically, whether 2 times in a year
Okay.
or quarterly, 4 times in a year. So that is why you say, okay, label owners or record companies also turn out to be label owners, but label owners can be companies without recording companies. But they manage the labels, and they pay the record companies to to produce their works, and they do the release. So basically, yes, label owners can own rights when it becomes mechanical, when they produce the materials, when they promote and all of that. So they come in agreement with the copyright owner.
It's more co-ownership.
Co-ownership. That's
For
the
that, for the only the
mechanical rights,
not the
yes.
other
Yeah,
performance rights now.
the performing right. In fact, most times, it's difficult for one person to own all the rights, because even if you play your music, you have neighboring rights. People play some things for you, some chorus with you, some play the keyboard, some play the saxophone, some play the guitar, bass, drums, and all of that. So in some cases, yes, those rights will be tied to the major artists that release them.
Okay, Daddy, what of cases of other things you talked about? We're just talking about music now. What of other fields, like people that wrote books, people that have maybe made them motivational? Because out of utterance, creativity is about those that did artworks, those that made books. Like, what kind of rights, what kind of copyrights, what the kind of process did they fall under in terms of the copyright for them?
Yes, just like the same thing. In fact, I think the most complicated of all of them is music and the film industry. The book code is a very straightforward thing. When you write a book, there's a particular copyright department that takes care of that. When you write a book, you submit a copy of the books with all the details that they request of you. The cover of the book, the content of the book is with the society. So whenever there's an infringement or whenever you see a fake publication of that book and you trace it to those who have violated it, you arrest them. And by the time you are taking them to the court of competent jurisdiction, the way they will know the difference is the copy with the society and the one that has been faked. So it's a very simple process.
So that was your final advice for those persons that have an intention to have their copyright done, but those people that are in the creative space, but they are kind of reluctant to go about protecting their works. What we advise for an average person that's trying to be in the creative space, but is afraid of having that copyright done. So what's your advice for them?
Yeah, my advice for creatives or those who create anything, whether book, whether vehicle design or anything that requires copyright, should go and meet the society, the requisite society that registers all those works. Or even better still, they can get to the copyright, the NCC, which is the Nigerian Copyright Commission, to find out exactly what they need to do. But if it is far from them, they can ask questions from those who they see in their environment to get advice on where they should register those works, because it's important. I can give you an example of somebody who had a beautiful song, but he was playing it with his friends. And anytime they go out to play it, everybody loves it, everybody dances to the song. And for a long time, the owner of the work, or the one who owns the copyright, was just playing it and enjoying it, and they sprayed them at parties and all of that. One of the band members one day went to register the song with the copyright society and released that work. The work became a hit all over the whole place. And when the guy came, he was telling people around that, don't you remember that song? Everybody said, you wrote it. You were the one that did it. You were the one that. So, but at the end of the day, it was sentiment, because rightly, the man who went to register it became the owner of that song. So, but if he had gone for protection immediately when he saw that people were reacting well to that song, he would keep that song. But what now happened? When the guy came, everybody started consoling him that, well, the man who has come to register the song, the man who has released the song, or the first man who is now playing the song is the owner of the right. So sadly, that was where he lost out. So it's not a matter of sentiment. Immediately you know you have something that is valuable that society needs to listen to, please go and register it and make sure you protect it.
Daddy, thank you for joining us on this interesting episode, and we hope to see you in other interesting episodes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye.
They will come and pay me for content. Right?